On this week's Top 10 Most Anticipated, we got an issue 0 to talk about, we got issue 1s to talk about, man, we got a lot of issue 2s, a lot of new comics getting ready to come out, webheads. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today, webheads, I'm bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comic books for March 3rd, 2021. That's right, webheads. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week. And like I said earlier, hopefully this helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy for this week. And before we get started, everybody, if you want to help support Comic Book Corner 2.0 and you want to consider becoming a member, just go ahead onto my home screen on my main page. Just hit that join button. And again, guys, it takes the channel a long way. And I want to thank all of you for the overall support. So consider hitting that bell, hitting that subscribe, giving it a thumbs up, and all that great stuff. So let's get started with this week's hot seat. That's right. This is the book where I'm on the fence about buying. And this one goes to 100-page Transformers Giant 1984. Now, I am a huge fan of Transformers. Obviously, in 1984, I was 9 years old, and I was all about Transformers. So when it goes back to the Generation 1 Transformers franchise, I tend to be a sucker for these things, and I tend to buy them. However, this is 100 pages, and the price point of this is $7. And I'm wondering if it's worth it because it seems like it has a lot of reprints in it. So it says it's representing the classic stories that inspired the series The Transformers. So it's got Transformers issue 1, Man of Iron, Transformers UK number 9 through 12, and Transformers 84 number 0 one-shot. So it seems like it's a bunch of one-shots or prints, or I don't even know, reprints. So we'll see what happens with it. This could be a book where I actually go to the shop, I flip through it, and I'm like, okay, I'm either getting this or not. So we'll see where it goes from there. But if you're a Transformers fan, I'm just letting you know it's out there. All right, so now we have to talk about the event that's still going on, and that is King in Black, okay? So we have more tie-ins, and we're getting close to the end of this actual series because we just had issue 4 of King in Black release, and then we're getting issue 5 very shortly. So this is the King in Black handbook. So if you're not familiar with all the characters that have been in King in Black, or the symbiotes, or Dylan or Eddie, Scream, all those guys, go ahead, pick up this handbook. This is 44 pages. This is $5. My thing is, wouldn't you not want this handbook before the events came out so you got to know all these characters? It's kind of weird that this is coming out almost after the event. So I don't know if I would pick this up. I'm personally not going to pick this up. This is the one thing from King in Black that I don't need. I don't need to spend $5 on this one. All right, the next King in Black series, which has been actually really good in my opinion, it's Thunderbolts issue 3. And this is the explosive finale of this event where we get to see our ragtag of villains actually are on this mission, and they had to recover Sentry's body. And we all know that his body got split in half. So in the last issue, they wound up recovering Sentry's body. And I feel like there's enough juice in there to create some kind of explosion to maybe loosen up the grip that Null has on the Earth. Very, very excited to see how this whole thing concludes. There's a lot of humor in this book. I definitely recommend this tie-in event, or this series, if you haven't read a tie-in event. It's a lot of fun. Great stuff here. All right, the next one we have is Gwenom vs. Carnage issue 3. This is where Mary Jane becomes Carnage in Gwen's world, Earth 65, and now this looks like this could be a possible arch enemy for her. We all know that in this world, things are completely opposite from the main Marvel universe, but she is being influenced, which is Mary Jane by Null in the series. She does mention it. So it's pretty cool. The artwork is a little wonky, but it's okay. And if you like, a lot of action, this is the book that's going to bring it to you. There's been nothing but fighting in this entire miniseries so far. This one's 28 pages, and this one's $4. All right. The next ones we have is a couple new tie-ins, and I think these might be one-shots. This is a Wiccan and Hulkling King in Black tie-in, so it makes sense why this might be a tie-in, because obviously of Hulkling's status quo right now, and then Wiccan, they're obviously together, they're married, and maybe they're trying to do battle against the symbiotic dragons, trying to stop things from happening in space. I don't know, but if you're a fan of these characters, you might want to check this one out. This one's 36 pages, $5. And then we have a Captain America issue 1 King in Black tie-in, which this could be cool because King in Black was, I'm sorry, I can't talk. Captain America is the one leading the Avengers in this event, and the symbiote overtook Captain America and the Avengers. So where does this take place? Does this take place after the fact of when the symbiotic god Null released its grip on Captain America and the other Avengers? Or does this take place before that, leading into the main battle? So that could be very curious, and fans of Captain America, you could like this book. And so this one is 36 pages, and this one is $5. All right, so finally, we're kicking off the top 10 most anticipated comics for March 3rd, 2021. And like I said, there's a lot of new number ones. There's even a number 0 here. So this one goes to Demon Days XMen issue 1. So this is Peach Momoko's XMen series, okay? I don't know how I feel about Peach Momoko's artwork when it comes to a main series. Like, I think her artwork is good, but I don't think the artwork is for everybody. And I think she does great cover art. And I think her art style fits more cover art than I would say interior art. But that's just my initial opinion going into it. It's still yet to be determined when I actually pick up the series and read it to see if it works, right? So I'm curious to see what you guys think about this Peach Momoko story when it comes to Demon Days X-Men issue 1. Some of you might not even care because, again, it's another X-Men book, and how many X titles are you actually picking up there? And if you're on a budget, well, this one is 36 pages, and it's $5, just to let you know. All right, next, coming in at number 9. This goes to Suicide Squad issue 1. This is a new title from DC. Obviously, we're done with Future State at this point, and we're getting some new books. So this is one of the ones I'm mainly excited for because this is going to be the book that crosses over with Teen Titans Academy, at least starting with issue 2 and then 2 and 3. I don't think it's going to be an ongoing thing, but this is a new Suicide Squad. And I'm curious how we get this new Suicide Squad after the last one just ended from Tom Taylor. And now we have Amanda Waller, I think, that's in charge of the Suicide Squad once again. And she has I think, stronger Suicide Squad, because if you look on the cover, I think she has I think she has Superboy on here somehow and whatnot. So I'm curious to see how this one is going to be. And then we have the Court of Owls Assassin Talon that's on there too. So again, this could be a very interesting book, and how it crosses over with Teen Titans Academy makes it a book that I must purchase. It'll be weird not to have a Suicide Squad book though without Deadshot, and obviously he's still killed off, and Harley Quinn. So this is a new take on it. So again, 32 pages, $4. All right, next, coming in at number 8. This is Casual Fling issue 2. This is done by AWA Upshot Studios. Now, the first issue of this was actually really good. Now, I think we've seen this plot point before. We have a hardworking woman who's bored with her husband. The husband stays at home. He's actually taking care of the kids. She feels ignored by the husband. The woman actually one night stand type of situation and automatically regrets what she does after she's done it, and she kisses up to the husband and whatnot. And now this guy that had the one night fling with her is like this stalker. He took like video of them having sex, and I have a feeling that he's going to make her life a living hell. However, even though I've read this story before, it was very interesting when I read it, and I want to find out like how this guy makes this woman's life a living hell, and he is going to make her regret ever spending the night with him. So I think he's gonna give her ultimatums. He's going to ruin her career, and I feel bad for the female character because it was just a moment of weakness, and it's just like, oh man, and now he's going to pay the price. So I think this is a great book, and I think AWA continues to deliver on their books. Great stuff here, and this book is 32 pages, $4, perfect. All right, next, moving on to number 7, and here it goes, guys. Infinite Frontier issue 0. It's the next phase of DC Universe. It begins here. All right. So everybody's been waiting for Future State to end. Some people read Future State, some people skipped it, and now they're like, all right, I'm going to jump on board with Infinite Frontier. Some people are dropping DC altogether because they're just like, I'm done with it now. The books are too expensive going forward. I totally see all points of it, okay? So again, if you're looking to jump on DC though, and you want to get into the universe and say maybe you dumped Marvel, this is the perfect time to do it. So this one is 64 pages, so it's a big book, and you're paying $6 for this one. So we'll see what happens, guys. All right. So next, coming in at number 6, this was a fabulous first issue, and this one goes to ManBat issue 2. Same thing, seen this story before. Man is like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, right? He says he can promise to cure the world or help somebody with a disease, and then he gets so infatuated with the work, he experiments on himself, and then he loses everything around him. He loses his wife, he loses his family, everything else, and he thinks he's trying to be a hero when he's really being a villain. And, that's what we got to see in the last issue, and we get to see Batman confront him. The artwork on this series is absolutely superb. I love the artwork here, and even though I've seen this story before, it was such a refresher to read a story that had nothing to do with Future State and get back on track to what DC Comics is, right? It was so good. It was just a lot of fun, and it kind of made me feel like it had this Batman animated vibe to it, even though it was like in between the two worlds, I guess. Whatever. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was 32 pages. This is $4. I definitely recommend it, guys. All right. So coming in at number 5, this is another book that is a different story that has nothing to do with like King in Black. And this is Avengers Mech Strike issue 2. This is better than the main Avengers series. And this is our Avengers who are piloting mechs because they're going against the biomechanoid, and it's about these cubes that form this body, and it becomes giant robots, and the only thing that can destroy these things is vibranium. And so our Avengers made these particular robots out of vibranium, and it looks like it's just going to be a lot of fun. There was great humor in the first issue. The characters kind of seemed like their movie counterparts, but the humor wasn't forced. It seemed very organic, right? And it made you laugh, and I just had a fun time with it. It just reminded me of a old school comic book with a 4-issue story arc or whatever it is, and it didn't mean the world. It wasn't this monumental event. A blast, and it had great artwork too, guys. So if you haven't checked out issue 1, this is something I suggest. This is on the cheaper side of things as well. 28 pages. This is $4. All right, next, coming in at number 4. This is probably the highest number out of all the books on the list. This is Batman issue 106. So Batman fans, it's back. All right, we've been put on hold for the past couple of months when it comes to the main Batman series. This is called The Cowardly Lot Part 1, and then you're going to get a backup story where this one is called Demon or Detective Part 1. So here we go. We're starting the backup stories when it comes to Batman. It looks like maybe the second part has to maybe do with Ghost Hunter maybe, because we're going to have to see him in there. I don't know, but I'm anxious to see what's in store for Batman now. Once again, eventually we're going to get that new character in there as well. So there's a lot of things going on. Are you guys still enjoying Tynion's Batman, or did you jump off of this series as well? So this one is 40 pages, $5. All right. So this one could be very interesting for the readers here. This is number 3, and number 3 goes to Nocterra issue 1, if I said that correctly. So here we go. This one goes to, oh my God, who is it? Scott Snyder, yes. Couldn't think of the name offhand. So this is Scott Snyder's independent work. So obviously, when COVID hit, right, a lot of writers and creators out there are like, maybe it's better to go independent out here, right? And so, and create my own work instead of going from DC or Marvel out there. So this could be a very interesting story. The cover looks beautiful. I think the cover art on here is done by Tony S. Daniel, and I think this is going to be a great series. It really looks cool. I'll read you the description real quick. It says, Part 1. 10 years after the world is plunged into an everlasting night that turns all living creatures into monstrous shades, the only way to survive is to stay close to artificial light. Enter Valentina, Val Riggs, a skilled ferryman who transports people and goods along deadly unlit roads with her heavily illuminated 18-wheeler. So that sounds really cool. So it has to do with a lot of dark and light, and a lot of stories are like that. But this is just another way of presenting that to you, right? So again, this could be a lot of fun. Tony S. Daniel behind the artwork, you can't be disappointed with that. Scott Snyder, same thing here, guys. So check that one out. Again, only $4 for this book. All right, next, coming in at number 2, this one is a long-awaited book. This is Keanu Reeves' book, Berserker issue 1. So this one was delayed way back, I think, in October, and now it's getting ready to come out for an independent comic book, right? This from Boom Studios, there's a lot of variant covers for this one. So I'm curious to see if you guys are going to try to get these variant covers, or are you just going to pick up that main cover? But again, Keanu Reeves doing his own comic book. Looks like him on the cover as well. He's known as Berserker. He's half mortal, half god, and cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. Looks like a great story. I cannot wait to read this book. Guys, check this one out. And then last but not least, coming in at number 1. This is, I think, the second time in a row. This goes to Firepower issue 9. And this, all it says here is the Serpent's Amen moves in for the kill. This is Robert Kirkman's Kung Fu book, right? It's so well written. I love all the characters that are in there. Owen Johnson, his wife, his kids, just everything about it is so cool. In the last issue, they have to get ready to go back onto this mission. They are taking a plane to their destination. We get to see this assassin go after Owen Johnson, and she has this big ass sword. They're fighting in the bathroom, and then the next thing you wind up finding out is they're flying out of the plane and they're falling to their doom, and they're still fighting. Dude, the action in this book is just so good, man. And this is why I love Robert Kirkman, because he's got so many great stories, whether it was The Walking Dead or Invincible. I fell off of Oblivion Song. I should read that in trade again, but this is just another one of those great books. Samney does the artwork on this one. If you remember, he did Daredevil a while back, and it captures the writing so perfectly. It's such an awesome book, but it's a great read. It's a fast read at the same time. So yeah, so there you have it, guys. There are my top 10 most anticipated comics for next week, which again is March 3rd, 2021. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this list. I want to know what you're looking forward to the most next particular week, and hopefully I helped you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And until next time, guys, if you like the content, I'll leave you more content right here to check out. And I did a pretty interesting topic earlier in the week. I think it was the weekend. If you guys want to check that topic out, I'll leave it for you right here. And until next time, Webheads, this is Mike Spider signing off, and I'll see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.